a secret to share with you. The key to writing an effective technical document is not in the drafting or the editing phase, but in the pre-writing stage. Let's first discuss what I mean by pre-writing. Suppose you want to cook a delicious meal. You don't just go around throwing ingredients together into a pot. You take the time to go through the recipe, then you take the time to get all the ingredients together. You consult your subject matter experts who have cooked this dish before, and then you start the actual cooking process. That's what pre-writing would be for technical documentation. So before you even open a blank page to write your document, you need to know what you're writing about. The first audience you write for is always yourself. So when I start a new technical documentation project, my first step is to read the existing documentation. It gives me an idea and gives me some context about where my documentation would fit in the overall doc set. This helps me get into the user mindset of how I would approach documentation for that feature as a new user. Once I read that documentation and I have an idea of how that feature is used and what questions the user could have while reading my document, then I move on to the user testing phase. In this phase, I use the feature myself and I document all the steps that I take during the process. I document all the things that I had to look up, all the mistakes I made, all the workarounds I found, all the questions I had, and by the end of this step, I have a very clear idea of how the feature works. I cannot explain it and I cannot document it to my users if I don't know how it works. And then I share this document with the subject matter experts like engineers and product managers to get their feedback and to make sure that I understood the process correctly. And this is key for a good working relationship with your subject matter experts. You don't show up to a meeting with engineers and be like, hey, explain the feature to me. In my experience, engineers really appreciate it if you show up to a meeting prepared and having done your homework. It helps me build trust and credibility with my engineers when I show up to a meeting with this document and it's like, okay, I tried all these things, this is where I'm stuck and this is where I need your help. This also proves that I respect their time and it gives them a good starting point for the conversation. I usually come out of the meeting with a very solid understanding of the feature that I'm documenting and clarity on how I need to document it as well, which is a sign that I'm ready for the next step, which is writing the first draft. And that's what we will talk about in the next video. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel for more tech writing videos. And for even more tech writing tips and advice, subscribe to the newsletter linked in the description box below. Thanks for watching. Bye.